NERDSoul.
Okay, so what if Nebula joined the Nova Corps? Lay ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Let's go because we got some thumbnails to talk about. We got some cool animation with what if season 2 starting off with your girl Nebula, man. Black Order trash, if you will. You know what I'm saying? If you ask the Nova Corps. Um, Let me know real quick how you feeling about this season start. And this is you know trying to see where your head is at. If you like the start of this season, not really if you like the style of the animation and all that stuff, or you like the show at all, because I figure if you didn't like the show, you're probably not here. So, and if you didn't like the style of animation stuff, you wouldn't be here no way. So, if you're here, I assume you like it, or maybe you just come to hate watch or something. I don't know, man. People do their own thing, but let me know how you feel about starting off with this sort of Blade Runner esque Xandar, where we are brought into, of course, this other, multiversal, or this other universe where remember when your boy, your boy popped off on Thanos? And Thanos was like, Ronan, if you don't sit your little tangle out down. But see, in this case, Ronan apparently toppled your boy. Had Thanos looking bad. Had Thanos out there looking like, the bad news bears before they became the bad news bears. And you know how they looked before. They was trash. So I mean, maybe he rolled them up. But we got Ronan. Ronan's apparently stomping like the big dogs out there, and the Nova Corps couldn't hold him. So having a planetary shield, it kind of reminds me of when Iron Man was talking about having like a suit of armor to protect the world, or kind of like a similar situation where, like, hey, what would that look like, or how could that roll down? And we see that, of course. Shouts out to Glenn Close, but Nova Prime is Glenn Close is Nova Prime. But anyway, we see Nova Prime with the cinnamon roll hairstyle. Um, Basically shut everything down, lock the planet away. And I mean, I guess with Ronan just blowing up planets and beating up people and destroying stuff here, there, and everywhere, I guess that was their main defense and then maybe their last line. But we see what it turned the world into. I mean, it looks like we're in continuous darkness. And Xandar is not the beautiful metropolis. It's turned to Gotham real fast. And one thing I like about this is, since we are in a Blade Runner esque kind of world now, Nebula with the whole kind of detective vibe and the inner monologue, I like that, man. It's a cool one thing I do like about the What If is that, for most part, most of these episodes is a nice break from the norms of what we normally see, or what we usually get from these characters, because we've seen Nebula in like 5 or 6 films now. Of course, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we've seen her in about 5 or 6 films now. And then these other characters, we've seen them in like 3, 4 films, something like that. So we've seen them over and over. But we also get some highlights for some people that didn't get a lot of love. Like in this episode, we see Howard the Duck, and honestly, the upstanding sleazy casino owner. I dig it. I really do. I like seeing Howard the Duck in this capacity, and kind of how he relates to the new world order due to the dome or the shield being, placed around the world, and now we're in consistent darkness, and him saying like, hey, look, if the world is bad, it's good for me. People come here, they feel bad, they want to drink more. Or they feel bad, they their only hope is to maybe win a game. We get a little joke later on where Nebula kind of faints and hits jackpot on one of the games, and he was like, hold up, these games are supposed to pay out. So you get these little things. Of course he's like I said, he's an upstanding sleazy casino owner. What I'm saying? He's about as clean as you're gonna get. But I do think this is a cool start, man. I like seeing the dirty side of what could be the Nova Corps. Also, how she was saved, and how she got a second shot at life, running down these kind of like clues that we get from Yandu's death, and like seeing how it changed her when he passed, because of course we don't get all of their history between her and Yandu, but like she says he was a criminal, but he wasn't a bad egg. So maybe like one of those people, they do like a little dirt, like I steal but I don't kill kind of thing. But from the models, the planet in general, the city, I like the vibe, and I love what really brought this episode home, because there were some places where I thought the animation was a little too stiff, but what really brought it home for this episode with me was the voice acting. Straight up, the voice acting in here really brought it home for me, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I was expecting her to be double crossed, but not in the way she was. Of course, I was thinking that it was going to be some kind of faction under Nova Prime that ended up killing Nova Prime, and she thought she was talking to Nova Prime when she wasn't. But no, it was the real Nova Prime. The real Nova Prime was like, look, hey, I'm tired of this mess, and I'm ready. Look, I am ready and willing to give this planet up to Ronan if I can, at least get the sun back or whatever. But we see, like she said, she did a double cross. She said she did a triple cross, all right? Because, yes, you said all I need is this robot to, this android or whatever to get into the mainframe. But she like, boy, look, I knew someone was going to screw me over. I didn't know it was going to be you, but I knew somebody was going to screw me over. So the plan actually worked out where, at the end, when the shield opens up, Ronan's like, yeah, I'm gonna take this planet over, take it right on over. Then the shield closed back. He was like, nah, bro, we're gonna crush you up and crush you like a jelly bean. But the way that we play out the alliances between like Groot and Howard the Duck, and then Nebula with her history with the Black Order, which we assume is kind of a similar history to the Black Order of our universe, and then also the whole Nova Corps, or at least maybe the top brass being dirty, is an angle that I enjoy. Now, I did have a question about when she approached Nova Prime. She was like, I'm taking you in. Now, this is after she's been kind of like beat down, like semi-destroyed, and they left her for dead or whatever. And she's like, I'm taking you in. I'm like, to where? All the cops are dirty. No, the Nova Corps is dirty. Where are you taking them to? Themselves? Like, I'm going to take you to the authorities. We are them, bruh. We are them. That's us. You going to take us to us? Let me guess. I'm not guilty. You know what I'm saying? It's like... So, I hate to say it, but chitty chitty bang bang, they gotta go. You can't keep these people around. Like, come on, Nebula or Nebby. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't make the name up. They did. So I'm Nebby. Come on, girl. Like, where you gonna take them? You ain't got no jail to put them in. They don't even accept you. You saw how they rolled in, like they was like, look, ain't nobody think about you. You the redheaded stepchild of the whole crew. So ain't nobody think about you. Look, there's only one other option, boy. You can either send them to jail or send them to, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I ain't gonna say what I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying. So, all in all, I dug the episode, man. I enjoyed it. It was I like how these little vignettes are like nice little peeks into each and every world. The Watcher's voice by now I'm forgetting the brother's name. Forgive me for getting his name right now. Of course, it was right on the tip of my tongue, but his voice brings in some great narration, and then crossing it over to Nebula's narration to like finish it off as we get into the story. Just great, man. I really enjoyed it. Right here, the animation was cool. It's kind of what I expected. Similar, same as the first season. I thought it was stiff in places where I thought it was last season and figured it would get smoother, but it's still stiff in some action places where I don't dig it at all. But it's good enough that once you add in some some, real solid emotional voice acting, I could get into it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I dug, man, from her mainframe, connecting to the mainframe. And that whole scene of her transferring the files and deleting the source files, that was awesome. Definitely gave me some Ghost in the Shell vibes, and then the whole Blade Runner-ish that was going through the whole season. I mean, through the whole episode. I really dug, man. It was a fun watch. So, of course, holla at me. I'm gonna holla at you down in the comments. Let's talk what if Nebula was a member of the Nova Corps. And I mean, I guess they calling her Supernova now, so we gonna see what goes on. I guess later on if they circle back to this, because I don't know if they're gonna do the same setup as season 1, if they're gonna circle back and kind of weave these episodes together or not. But we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. So until next time that you have to fight against a completely corrupt regime of officers that are also essentially space cops, for me to you saying, peace.